Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to May. Okay, we made it to the next Earth energy, right? Straight shot from Capricorn season. Now here we are. Weirdly, a lot going on, right? Just like, hopefully you're at peace, but there's a lot going on still. Well, maybe not entirely at peace. I think there's concern of like, what's going to happen is really kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Concern of what are the results, the outcome, where this is going. There could be a feeling of like I don't know, it's like maybe you're fighting people. We have Mercury coming over Uranus. We're going to have Venus coming over Uranus. Right now, Venus is in square with Saturn. She'll be squaring with Pluto. So like it's really drudging up all this stuff. And people who aren't really sure of who and what they are, they're like really unloading on people and going a little bit kind of like they're getting out there. And Capricorn, I don't see you being the one unleashing on people. You know, I think that you're kind of in your weird power. Like you've been through so much that right now, no matter what happens, you're just going to be unfazed. So you're kind of watching everyone get really, really uncomfortable. And just sort of like manning home base here, right? Just taking care of yourself. You might need to get defensive, you know, if that's the case, or you can just not engage and just see that the other people are kind of projecting their own kind of stuff onto you. And then you just can just be happy, you know? So let's see what comes out around this. 7 of Wands can sometimes be an antagonistic energy. And sometimes we can get stuck in that kind of energy too, because it is, sorry, my fan went on. We can get stuck there because it is kind of associated with the fixed signs, right? Numbers 5, 6, and 7 are connected with the fixed energy of the element. So we're talking about fixed fire, which is Leo energy. And to get from the fixed modality into like the next sort of space, which would be the mutable modality, it can take a little bit of work and it can be a little bit of a fight or a little bit of a struggle, but you'll get there. You know, you're getting there. And I think calm and peace is really going to be the best way to go about doing stuff. Yeah, because the old chapter is like so over. There's something that's just so done, so played, you know, and Capricorn in general, having gone through the stuff, you know, it's just like preservation of energy is really what's needed. Keeping your energy, keeping your vital energy, like your actual physical energy, not just like who you are, but like the energy you use to get up and go to work and go do what you got to do. Like there's no way that Capricorn is going to be dedicating too much to people that are a waste of time right now. It's just not going to happen, you know? So if you're getting rejected by a Capricorn, you should probably like check yourself and being like, am I being a little too demanding right now? Maybe I'll just give them their space, because they're 10 of Swordsing, you know? So it's just played, and they're kind of ready and waiting for this newness. It's like a final purge before we get to all the Taurus stuff. We're going to have the sun moving into Gemini later on in the month. So energy is needed to be preserved now so that it can be expended later on. Gemini being the ruler of your 6th house, which is all about work. So when the sun hits the 6th house in late June, you're going to be like, okay, let's do this Energizer Bunny stuff. You know, like we got this. You're going to be hearing from people for sure. I have a feeling this is very well connected to the 7 of Wands too. Page of Coins is definitely worth hearing out. It's an offer of some kind, a phone call, a text message, hey, you want to go out? Sometimes it can be a really annoying kind of thing, like of all the stuff you went through with this person or of all the things that happened, and you're only giving me a page of coins. Like you're just kind of like dipping your toe into the water. Are you serious? Like with all this stuff? Seriously. I'm kind of laughing a little bit just because the nature of the page of coins in this context, it's so silly. And the person that you're dealing with or the people that you're dealing with, they don't realize how silly it is given the magnitude of what you're capable of. And then they give you this page of coins and you're like, look, dude, like this is child's play. Like stop Peter Panning me and just like be a grown up already, you know, because this is like such a Peter Pan kind of energy, you know, like never want to grow up, never land, always wanting to play the games. And there isn't a genuineness here, though. It's just, I just don't know if you're really wanting to entertain it, you know, just really not ready to hear it. I think people are going to get some cold shoulders from Capricorn this month because I just don't think Capricorn is in the mood. Not in the mood for anything petty, not in the mood for anything low level, ridiculous, not respectful of what you had, you know. If you're looking for a new job, I think maybe even the pay offer is just going to be like not matching your value or not matching what you actually bring to the table for the company. Don't worry, that won't be a thing for that long. It's just a temporary blip on the radar, so don't get discouraged. Yeah, it's temporary blip, temporary period of like, where the heck is this going? But it'll clear up soon. The moon energy is kind of this beautiful mystery, though, and you're well versed in this, so it's not foreign. Weirdly, I gotta say, like weirdly, the earth signs and all of this, they're kind of like really maintaining their composure, the mature and evolved and higher expression of their sign, of their archetype. Like they're really keeping very solid through all of this, which is amazing with the Uranus activity, right? The Pluto activity. And they're very willing to just like go forward in spite of not being able to see really where the path is taking them. Now, Capricorn is a sign cardinal, known for setting targets and going toward the target. Well, when the target's a little bit too far out and you can't quite really see, it's kind of like you know whereabouts the target is, so you can kind of at least get headed in that direction and just keep doing what you're doing, even if you know that it might be a while before the sun comes up and you can actually really see exactly where to go. It's not a problem. You know, I think you've learned, I think you've had your lessons to like the mutable, how to be more mutable. You know, unless you have a lot of mutable energy in your chart, mutability for a cardinal sign can be really frustrating because they like to set goals. They like to do the things they say they're going to do. They like to run. They like to have ambition. They like to go and move and make things happen. So when the universe is asking a cardinal energy to, you know, change the course or change pace or to relax or to stop altogether, you know, it can be a little disorienting, but you guys, you're there. Like you totally know exactly what to do. Another mutable. Okay, earth and air. Getting earth and air. It's card of Gemini, cards of Virgo, but not higher expression of the archetypes. Again, people really wanting to get a hold of Capricorn, and maybe you're trying to reach out to some people too, and they're just like being super flaky and super unpredictable and not very dependable. And so you just kind of, I have a feeling you're just going to give up a little bit because you just realize, well, it's got to be 50-50. Like I'm not going to be doing the one doing all the work anymore, you know? So you might be fighting that battle for a minute, but ultimately you're just going to wash your hands of the whole thing until a later time. So communication, yes. Yes, that's going to happen. Making things happen, I'm not really seeing a huge indication of that happening. But if some new doors open, professionally or in terms of friendships or in terms of dating, you can explore and you can kind of see, but you don't get totally married to it right away. You know, like don't get attached to the excitement. Remain cool. Stay grounded. Okay. And don't go from 0 to 100. Okay. Just like slowly push on the gas. Just slowly. Because guaranteed that path is going to twist and bend here in the near future. So just, you know, stay alert. Pay attention. When people start getting antagonistic, just kind of step off and let them hash it out on their own. There's not a lot you can do about that. Beautiful. This is exactly what we love for a cardinal, right? So in your lessons of mutability, you have an opportunity that is worth chasing now. Probably going to come after a few little mishaps with the pages, okay? A door opens, boom, here's an idea, here's a venture, here's a direction, here's a person, and this is where you need to go. And I see this being a seed of desire being planted in your heart. It's internal. I don't know that this is going to manifest as a phone call or whatever. I think this is going to just be a desire that comes to you. Sometimes we want things and we're like, why would I want something like that? Like, it's not really in my character. It doesn't really have anything to do like with my childhood, or like there's no really psychological reason. Like, why do I want that thing? I have a feeling it would be your future self, maybe your higher self, your soul, right? Trying to get you into a place that you're needing to be. And it's doing so by implanting some kind of foreign desire that you've never had before, some new creative idea. Hey, why don't you start painting? You're like, what? I've never painted before in my whole life. Like, why am I starting to want to do that now? Why don't you learn that language? Why don't you pick up this and learn how to like fix cars? I don't know, something weird, something random, something you've never explored before. That's what this is going to be. So when that happens, you don't have to shut it down, or please don't shut it down. It's part of the beautiful, mysterious unknown in which you find yourself. This is probably going to be happening for the next 5 months during the retrogrades of Saturn and Pluto in your sign. Through the eclipses that we're going to have in July, right? Those are coming up pretty quick. We're on the other side of Aries, so we're kind of feeling the buildup now, right? The buildup of those eclipses coming the next couple months, we're going to feel it. So just let the world speak to you. Let your soul speak to you, because clearly you have like worldly things and people and external sources communicating with you. And clearly it's not really like, it's not what you're wanting. It's not taking you in the right direction, and you know it. Like, you're not getting fooled by this kind of stuff. Like, no one's pulling the wool over Capricorn's eyes. Like, they're super on point. It is your job to really remain curious and open right now. And to not try to like write this story. You can still have the targets, but don't try to write the story. Okay? Get the Knight of Swords running away from the Nine of Coins. So this is a card of Gemini. We're getting a lot of like Gemini energy. We have a card of Pisces here. Now, the Knight of Swords doesn't have to be Gemini. It can be any sign. But the Knight of Swords specifically is a very abrasive thing. And I think that kind of just matches perfectly here. The Knight of Swords is someone that really pushes their agenda on people. And it's not necessarily from a manipulative place. It's just that they might not be as aware. They might not be as caring or as conscious about humanity and their impact on the world. You know, they just have this agenda, and it's like they can't see outside of their agenda. And they're running away from the Nine of Coins. I think you're kind of the Nine of Coins person here, right? They seem to be in their own world. Some of you are the anchor for someone else. You are the source of groundedness for someone else who's maybe not doing super great. Or who is so just enveloped in their fantasy or their delusional world. Let's not forget the moon. The moon is right on top of the Knight of Swords, which you'll see when I put the camera down. But it's sort of shrouding, right? He's kind of lost in darkness a little bit. So while they are trying to figure it out, you might realize, wow, I'm being the grounded person for someone else. Now, some of you may decide that you don't really want to be here, because that's kind of the essence of the Ten of Swords here. And especially when the Ace of Swords comes out, you're like, Ace of Wands, you're going to be like, oh my God, like this is really so much more of what I want. I think your heart is going to be pulled more and more and more toward whatever this is. This is going to be an undeniable desire by the end of the month. Like, there's no question in your mind what this is going to be. And any faltering that you're experiencing right now, should I stay? Should I go? Should I invest? Should I not? Should I da 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 da? It's all going to become very clear. You are in a position of resources. Some of you that's energy, some of you that's love, some of you it's actual money, some of you it's the attention that you give to someone else. You are in the position of resources. Okay, so because you are kind of in the power seat here, it's up to you to discern what is and is not worth your resources. The Knight of Swords, I don't know, we'll see. But usually a Knight of Swords is someone who doesn't, again, like I said, doesn't really consider consequences. And I would be hard pressed to advise you to invest in whatever the Knight of Swords is going on. Especially if it's a romance thing. If it's a business partnership thing, let them play it out. This person can be really, really successful sometimes, but they can also like have continuous, like if they have showcased a behavioral pattern of like failure after failure after failure, and they're trying to get you to do something with them, and you just, I think you're going to be hard pressed to come up with reasons why. Okay? So recognize what you have and recognize that there's potentially like they need you more than you need them right now. Knight of Swords can often get scared very easily, run away very easily. They can easily, Now the Four of Cups coming out. It's all about composure. It's about not getting super excited about stuff. This is stoicism right here. Not letting the highs bring you up too high or the lows down too low. Just monitoring. This is similar to the Scorpio reading too, which is interesting because I do see a lot of similarities in terms of power and ambition and all these wonderful things between Capricorn and Scorpio, very similar in that regard. And right now, in your higher level knowledge, you know that sitting up top, for them it was the eagle's nest, for you it's the top of the mountain, right? Sitting up at the top of the mountain and looking down and just surveying the land to really see, just checking it out before making any major moves here. And right now you're not grabbing that cup, just like you're not really grabbing onto the Page of Coins or the Page of Swords, because I think you know that Ace of Wands is coming. I'm not saying that something's better around the corner. I'm saying that there's going to be a desire that comes into your heart that you might not know what it is yet. And it is that desire that is going to then determine your destiny even. Maybe we call it destiny. That Ace of Wands has a powerful presence here. It has a powerful place in this story for you. So, okay, let's see. Let's put the camera down now. Oops, sorry. Hold on. Okay, where's my other deck? Here we go. Get my mouse out of the way. There we go. The Fool. So connected with the Ace of Wands. And Lust, which is similar to Strength in the regular Rider-Waite deck. Now, the Fool is an open-hearted energy, someone who is ready and willing to let go, to go into the darkness, to go into the unknown without fear, without presence of restrictive ego, and to just sort of fling open his arms and say, okay, universe, what next? And it takes a lot of courage to be the Fool. I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of courage to do this. And here we have a card, well, it's Lust, but the Strength energy does come through here. Strength and courage, so they do kind of match. Now, the reason why this is Lust is because it refers to the physical components of life. refers to the lion, right? Which is representative of the physical world, of our ego, of our personality even, and the things of the world, including money, including career and prestige and all these things. And the lustful component and that sort of desirous component toward those things. Now, it's not bad, right? I know that, depending on your religious influences, there can be some indications that that's bad. That's definitely not the case. The desire for worldly things is very much a part of this worldly experience, right? And I think that's probably part of what this is. The desire for something. The desire is very it's divinely inspired, so you don't need to question it. Even if it's like you just want, a new car. Or, like I said, you want to just pick up that paintbrush and start painting for some weird reason. Or you want to learn that language, those are the kinds of things that are of the world, but that are directing your path or pivoting your path. I don't know why I'm like hesitating here. Okay, so I have my astrology deck here, and this particular card is the moon card, soul. So we're actually getting two moon energies, and the moon and the soul connection and see, I think you guys, like, it's not possible this is not happening with what you've got going on in your sign. You are so sure of who and what you are. And that self-awareness, like when they say you're a universe inside, like it pales in comparison to what you actually are. And you're starting to see it, and you're starting to feel it, and you don't get fooled by anybody's crap anymore. You don't get fooled by antics, by games, because you have figured out how to really create a beautiful space in your life. And again, this is the same word I'm using for everybody every single month. I keep saying it over and over, but it's important that we don't forget that this is a year where we learn how to become untouchable and to use the desires for navigation through this life, but to never become attached to those things. There's that quote, right? The minute you need nothing is the minute you can have everything. So just because you have a desire doesn't mean you're attached to it. And doesn't mean that defines who you are. Attachment to a relationship or anything material or otherwise. So you're starting to find that middle way. You're starting to find that balance between the physical world and the spiritual world. And that's exactly where you need to be. That's why, like the Taoism, right? That's what it's all about, the middle way. Okay. Well, I just had a whole bunch flip over, but I'm not going to take them because I wasn't officially clarifying anything yet. So let's go ahead and begin. So these are going to be the cards that we're going to use in the comprehensive, all right? So if you want to watch the comprehensive, the link will be down in the description box. We usually talk for another 20 to 25 minutes in that reading, so you're welcome to join us there. So let's look at the Seven of Wands. Beautiful. This is what I'm talking about, right? That's the essence of who you really are. And when you operate like a sun, like a high-level intelligence, you don't have any problems, right? You don't have problems. What others may have perceived as problems and what you may have used to have perceived as problems aren't problems anymore. Another moon card. Okay, so we're getting a moon card 3 times. So this is all about the inner workings and the inner processes. This is all about, it had to come out with the Uranus stuff. It kind of had to. It's all about how you process things. It's all about how you emote, how you express emotion, how connected you are to your emotions, but not attached. Aware, but not attached. Okay, yeah, that Page of Coins, I had a feeling that Page of Coins was problematic. He's problematic. Oh, that's probably the reason you've been banging your head against the wall for so long. And there's the Knight of Swords again. maybe multiple people. One could be a work thing, one could be a relationship, or it could just be the same person. Could be clients, you know, whatever. But, oh, 9 of coins again. Interesting. Okay, let's look at the Page of Swords now. Yeah, see? The pages, I knew that there was like a sour note to them. Normally I wouldn't really interpret them as such, but not really to be trusted, which I think you know that already. And then the Strength card again. I'm going to read them differently though. King of Swords reversed. Okay, that Ace of Wands, first of all, it was very well earned. Second of all, you are probably going to question that desire a lot. And there may be someone in your life that doesn't want you to take it. That's bad advice. Okay, that's bad advice. The King of Swords reverse could be the Knight of Swords too. Oh, Page of Cups reversed. Whoops. Oh, okay, hold on. There were 2 cards that came out, I guess, with that one. Page of Cups reversed and the Wheel of Fortune. That person is spinning. They're trapped in a very obvious up and down. Like it's so obvious to you right now. Yeah. The Seat of Power. There you are. There you are. Okay, let's clarify these now. Oh, amazing, you guys. That Ace of Wands, it's all about that Ace of Wands right now. That is the name of the game. And another Ace of Wands. Let's pull out the one more for the final Moon card and the Empress. Oh, bottom of the deck is Judgment. It's all about the Ace of Wands, you guys. So if you don't follow me to the comprehensive, if you get nothing else out of this, pay attention to the new desires that are entering into your heart. That is the answer. Okay? Alrighty, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you guys so much for everything. I wish you absolutely nothing but the best. All right? Thank you. Take care.